Hey everyone, it's Stamp Ventures with Shauna. Welcome to my Tuesday tutorial at, well, let's see, I guess it's probably like 8:07 instead of 8:02. I'm just getting back into the swing of things. I came back from OnStage, our Stampin' Up! Conference in Vegas. I had lots of fun, was there for pretty much 4 full days, and got to see lots of neat sights. And I think I've lost my voice, and I don't know if that was because I was cheering for my husband when he was running. I really screamed loudly so that he would hear me when he ran past me, and I did catch him in the first quarter of the race or so. And then I cheered him on again at the end at the finish line, but I was on the other side of the street, so he wasn't really sure if he heard me or not. But I'm back here now anyways, and yeah, we had lots of fun. And well, today's funny is again kind of related to sort of a Vegas thing. Alcohol is not in my vocabulary. However, I looked it up on Wikipedia and learned if you drink too much, it's likely to kill you. So I didn't drink too much. I think I may have had a glass of wine or two, and that was about it. But yeah, there were a few people that we saw around Vegas that were definitely feeling no pain, and yeah, I'm glad I'm not them. Anyways, oh, I should have a weather word for the day too, and the weather word is mystery. So I'll be honest with you, I have not stepped foot outside today. I've been cutting paper all day for my Christmas card classes this week, and I just was on a roll and kept going with that. So, but I'm not in my pajamas. I'll tell you that much. I'll be truthful that way. I am actually somewhat dressed, maybe a little shabby, but I don't have my pajamas on. So I'm going to be doing something with some designer paper today. I saw a presentation at the OnStage convention by Celine Kempton. Is that who it was? And she reminded me about a neat way to use your designer paper in cards. And so I'm going to share that with you. And I just also remembered that I should grab my extra light here. I'll turn this on. I think it does make a little bit of difference when I add the extra light. You still get shadows, but I think you're able to see things just a little bit better. So I'll get started here in just a moment. And before I do that, I should just point out that there is a 3-day sale, and it's starting tomorrow, and it will end midnight Friday. And there are, let's see, what is that? 8 bundles from the annual catalog that are an additional 5% off. The bundles are, when they're brand new to the catalog, they're 10% off the price if you were to buy them separately. So they've added an extra 5% off to make it about a 15% deal for the 3 days. And then also the inks and the cardstock for the following 4 color groupings are also on sale, and they are 15% off. So the Rich Regals, the Neutrals, the 2018-2020 in colors, and the 2019-2021 in colors. So cardstock and inks for those 4 groups of colors, and you can get them in their multi-packs, you can get them in their packs of solid colors, and then an ink pad for each of those colors as well, and also the multi-packs of the 12x12s. So some of these these pictures on the flyer got cut off here at the top. My printer didn't work very well with this square format, but this one is called To a Wild Rose, and this one here is Path of Petals. Can't quite see the tops of those ones. And then there's Parcels and Petals, Dino Days, Free as a Bird, Memorable Mosaic, Bloom and Grow, and Band Together. And these 2 of the 8 of them are my very favorite. I have both of these and I love them. And I'm going to show you some samples that I have on hand, just how beautiful these 2 are. And I also do happen to have, I think, a sample with this one, the Bloom and Grow, and a sample with this one from some swaps that I was in. But I really highly recommend these 2. So take a look at them in your catalog, Free as a Bird and Band Together, if you don't already have them, and you have the chance of getting them at an extra deal for the next 3 days. So here are a couple samples of Free as a Bird. Not all of these are ones that I've made. Some of them I've received in swaps. But yeah, there's the stitched label framelets. There's another Free as the Bird. I have used these framelets so much. Oh, I shouldn't do this too fast in case you're wanting to get a screenshot. Here's another one. I love this one. This idea was from Angie Judah, and you can tuck a gift card in there. That was so much fun to make that card. And here are a couple Band Together cards. This one was from my friend Diane in Ontario, and you can see it's got beautiful dies that create the band part, and you can use it as a band or just as a focal part for your card. So here it's got more of a band look because you can see the edges here, and those you can make them wrap around the card if you want to, or you can cut them down and make them just more like a beautiful label for your card front. And here are a couple samples with Bloom and Grow. This bundle is also on the special. They didn't use the dies on it, but gives you an idea of what the blossoms are like. It's kind of like a beautiful swag of flowers. And here's an example with the To a Wild Rose, and it uses the die from the To a Wild Rose and the flowers, but then it also uses those stitch nested label dies as well. And you've seen me do things with this idea before. I just love it. So keep in mind that special is on till midnight on Friday, and I do have a host code. So if you're placing an order online, please use my host code, Pink Zebras 6 Underwear Horses. Now zebras are naughty. Yeah, whatever. I don't know what those they use those special alpha, delta, beta, whatever words. Yeah, so that's the November host code. And if you have any questions, I can help you place the order too. Okay, so we'll get on with the project. So the idea that I saw from Celine, I think it was Celine, she was using just regular card-based size, and so 8.5 by 5.5, and she scored it down the middle at, I guess middle would be 4 1/4, so there. So I've got 2 that are scored basically in half, and I'm going to fold them. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off a chunk of the front. So I'm going to take this, and I'm going to cut off so much that all I've got left is 1 inch of the front of my card. So from the fold here to the cut line, it's going to be 1 inch. So 1 inch there. Yep. And you say goodbye to this. You can use it for another project another day. You can use it for scraps to punch out. Oh, I'm sure all different kinds. So, and I'll do the same thing with the green one here. Cut off so that there's only 1 inch, 1 inch from the fold to the edge. Extra paper for another project. Okay, done with the trimmer and the scorer. And so, what Celine showed us to do is to take, and on the opposite side of the paper here, to run a piece of tear tape like that. And actually I've got tear tape already done on another piece of the cherry cobbler. The colors I'm using here are garden green and cherry cobbler, and this is Christmas Time Is Here, the designer paper in that special suite that they just Stampin' Up! Just introduced at the beginning of this month. And this is the Twal Tidings. And so the way that Celine showed this card to work is you just lift up the 1-inch flap and you center your 4 by 5 1/4 piece of designer paper onto the base of the card like that. And hopefully this is gonna work. I can get, yeah, there, I got it started. You peel off the tear tape cover and you glue it down, and voila, you've got a beautiful card that has pretty design on the front, and then on the inside it's got another pretty design. Yes, I love this when you get to see both sides of the designer paper, because I'm always feeling sad when I have to glue one part down and then you don't get to see how pretty the design is. So I'll do that with this one as well, just so you can see that this is the basic idea. I'm going to decorate this one a little bit more. It's going to be super simple. It won't take me very long. You'll probably come up with ideas to decorate them in even more fun ways, but this is the idea to get you started. So, and there with this one, when you open up, ta-da, there's a little bit of red on the inside. Ooh, okay, note, don't do what I did. I put my tear tape right to the very ends, and it doesn't need to be that far to the end, because my paper, my designer paper, is only 5 1/4, not 5 1/2. But the thing about tear tape is you can kind of there, yeah, you can gum it up and rub it off. So, okay. So this one I'm not going to decorate. You can think about what you might do with something like this. But this one I am, and it's going to be just super simple. So I've got some of the coordinating gold shimmer ribbon that I got with the Christmas Time Is Here designer paper. I never did get the stamps and the dies for the Christmas Time Is Here paper. Just got the paper and the embellishments. And I really love them, and I knew I would have time to use those more than the stamps and the paper, and I've actually almost used my whole pack between the things that I've demonstrated, the classes that I've done, and the swaps that I took to convention. I've just about used that entire pack. So yeah, it has served me well. It is really beautiful paper. Okay, have you used your designer paper lately? If you haven't, you need to get it out and start chopping it up. Remember, these pieces are 5 1/4 by 4. And okay, so just added that little bit of gold shimmer ribbon there. Trim that off. Now, you heard me talk about Free as a Bird, and the stitch nested labels dies is one of my very favorites of the bundles that are on sale this week. Well, I've grabbed those stitch nested labels dies and thought, okay, how can I use them on this card? So the first thing I did was I punched out a smaller of the stitched nested dies and a stamped Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. This greeting is from Itty Bitty Christmas. The Itty Bitty Christmas has lots and lots and lots of Christmas greetings, and I found it to be quite handy for that reason. Then I punched out or die cut a piece that was just a size bigger so that I could layer those two together. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. So there we go. And of course, now I need dimensionals. Got to add a little bit of dimension to this. Whoops. There, I had my another chunk of dimensional that stuck onto the back of that one. Didn't know if it was gonna stick with that lump underneath it. There we go. Okay, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this bow up a little bit, just shift it slightly so that I'll be able to put, my label die there. And this is as simple as I'm going to get for decorating the front of the card, because I think the designer paper on this can speak for itself. But like I said, you could even get more fancy with what you do when you're making your card at home. So something like that. I was trying to make it just so that this knot would kind of peek out just over the corner of it. All right, so that's the outside. And then when I opened it up, like I said, you can see the designer paper on the inside, and I'm like, oh, I should have some white paper there to write on. And so then I went back to the very biggest stitched nested labels dies. Have I got all those right words in there? Stitched nested label, something like that. And I cut the very biggest one out. And I was going to lay it down just flat, and then I'm like, wait a minute. Christmas. I'm always needing at Christmas gift card holder. So what I decided to do was, I thought I was done with my trimmer, but I'm not. I'm going to take my trimmer out again, and I'm laying the die cut shape so that it's just, what I want to say, the groove where you cut is just below those two corners that are opposite each other. This is the cutting blade, got to get that out of the road. Okay, and I'm going to score, moved a little bit, but I don't think it'll be a problem. There we go, scored that. So then this is going to be somewhat like a pocket. Look at that, it looks like a pocket. And I think, you know what, I think I better get some tear and tape and just glue this pocket down, because I have this feeling it's going to want to pop up and not do what I want it to do. There, okay. All right, now on the back of this die cut shape, I put some more tear and tape. Is it tear and tape or tear tape? I don't know. I go back and forth between both. So I put a regular piece, about 1.5 inches or 2 inches down at the bottom. And then these two pieces of tear tape are super narrow, sliced in half tear tape. Problem with cutting tear tape is it does make your scissors quite gummy and gluey, so you kind of have to go back after it with alcohol and clean them off. And you have to, for this gift card holder, you have to get that skinny piece of tear tape right to the very bitter edge of the nested label die, because if you don't, your gift card will not fit in there. If you can think of something that's skinny like this, the half a piece of tear tape, that would work better. Let me know, but this is what I've come up with for now. So cross fingers. What I could even do, take a point from what I said before. There, if you're worried that the tear tape is not going to leave enough room for your gift card, there, you can roll the edge a bit. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I think it was just a little bit wide, wherever it looks wide. Okay. Boop. I think I got some that went over the edge here a bit, but I'll go back and take that off after. I'll goop it off. All right, so look at that cute little pocket on the inside, and then I can write love mom or whoever this gift card's to, and then I should be able to, crossing fingers, here we go. Did I leave enough room? Yes, I did. Yes. So there, if you have these two narrow half wide strips of tear tape, you can tuck a little gift card in there. So there it is, my project for today. Use some of that designer paper, get it out. Like this is sort of Christmassy, but it's rosy too, so it wouldn't have to be just for Christmas. And make some projects so you can be ready for Christmas. If you have any questions about this, let me know. But thanks so much for tuning in to check out my designer series card today, and I hope you have a great rest of the week. Bye for now.